Hello and welcome back to the booth at Pack Expo Connects for Morrison Container Handling Solutions. We appreciate you taking the time today to meet with us and visit with us. We have technical experts on hand that you can chat with. So if you have questions along the way, please chat with us. Otherwise, we will stay after on this Teams call so that you can communicate with us direct. We can do video chat, whatever works for you. Please note that all the videos that we're highlighting here, they're not necessarily a model XYZ. Every single thing is custom built to order. So this is really to kind of spark ideas in your brain and to start your mind thinking about how we can try to help the issues that you're having at your individual plants. So please note that, and then also all the videos that we're highlighting, they are taken in our facility prior to shipping. So if you see something that's a little weird or people walking too close to the machines or wondering about guarding, we always will make sure that all of that is on there, but we are taking that video at our facility prior to shipping, so just note that as well. This specific session is focused on variety pack and stacking. So we have a lot of cool videos that we're going to highlight today from previous applications. So the first one that we're going to highlight is the variety pack. So we actually helped create the variety pack for a single serve coffee line, so something similar to this, to put all of the individual single serve coffee cups inside of the box with multiple different flavors from multiple different lanes, which, let's take a look at the video and you'll see. This is a fully integrated single serve coffee line that Morrison put together. As you can see, there are 4 individual lanes of product that are coming to the actual boxing portion of the line. Each one of those lanes has an individual feeder bowl that allowed the customer to run up to 4 different flavors at any given moment in time. That allowed them the full flexibility to create whatever type of variety pack they want. So a lot of companies are forced to only have a set number of flavors in each box, but this would allow them to completely customize it so that it really met the full consumer needs. So instead of having an even distribution of product in each one of those lanes, they could put a more popular flavor in inside the box. So we're looking for case present. As long as the case is seen and directly under said lane, that lane will run until the full count that the operator has chosen for that recipe to be fulfilled. And then once it's fulfilled, the box keeps moving on to the next lane. So just to clarify what you saw there at the end, it was highlighting the product run out. So the purpose of that is our specific customer, they needed to be able to run different types of flavors and things like that between each of the lanes. So at the end of the run, they wanted to make sure they got all that product out of the line. And that's why we have that product run out capability, so you can pull all that product out without having to lose product or damage product or anything like that. And then also just to clarify how we actually do the count. So one of the really cool things about a timing screw is that as this is rotating, so 1 revolution equals 1 container that's actually discharged out of a timing screw, in most cases. So what we do is we kind of assume that there's going to be a constant prime of product on the infeed of the timing screw, and we will run it. So say we want to have 40 of those containers come out of one individual lane. So the timing screw will spin 40 times. And as it's going, we also have a sensor that's looking for product to pass by it. So it's basically flashing every single time it sees a product, and that count will go up. And as long as it's fulfilled that, say, 40 containers passing through, it'll shut the system off. If it only hits 38, it'll do 2 extra revolutions, etc., until it meets that full count or that pulse. So that the full variety pack is met. So that's a really cool system, not just used specifically for this, but any type of product that needs to go into bulk package, it's a great solution. Transitioning to another video, the next video that we're going to highlight is something that if you have children, mac and cheese is a common dinner item, I'm sure. So you're probably familiar with this type of packaging. Either the 2-pack where it's 2 containers inside of a cardboard sleeve, or a 4-pack where it's a 2x2 where the lids are actually stacked on each other. We do the infeed to this type of a system. So take a look. There are a lot of products out in the marketplace that are put on a shelf with a stacked scenario of lid on lid. This is one of those scenarios that everyone should be familiar with as the single-serve macaroni and cheese containers. There's lots of other containers that would also meet this criteria, like single-serve fruit cups or applesauce. First, we have a single lane that comes to us. We use a timing screw system to create an even distribution of product into 2 lanes. It will always spit out 2 even lanes for the downstream operation, where we will flip one of those lanes directly on top of the other because they are both controlled by the same timing screw. Once they have been inverted and stacked on top of another, the timing screw will also create a group. So in this scenario that we're watching, you'll notice that it is a group of 4, so a 2x2 pattern, but there are a lot of other products out there that require different patterns, like a 2x3, which is the most common for single-serve fruit cups. The benefit of utilizing a timing screw is the positive control that it creates in all the different scenarios, from the dividing process through the inverting process and then the grouping process. There's always positive control on the container so that you're not relying on outside variables to perform said operation. So one of the things that you may have noticed in that video is that there's top hold down rails. So with these tapered shapes of these cups, what would happen is as it's going through, they would naturally, when they're going on each other, they would kind of bridge. And so if you kind of accumulate those up, they would want to kind of pop up in the air. And so the top hold down rail is there just to make sure that that reverse taper doesn't create any sort of jams. So that's one question that we'll commonly get when running these type of tapered shape. But it's a standard approach for us. Again, something that might not be specifically applicable to you, but might spark some ideas as to how we invert your product or how we might group them together to feed into whatever machine that you got. The next video that we're going to look at is one that's specific to a single serve cup that you might use at a party or something like that. When you see these in the grocery store or the gas station, you see them in lots of different groups, right? Sometimes they're in 8 counts, 10 counts, 30 counts, whatever that might be, depending on what type of party you're going to have. So people are always wondering, how do you get those in the bag? Does someone count them by hand? Well, take a look. Stacking equipment is something that a lot of companies will ask Morrison for. In this particular application, we are taking single serve plastic cups that you see in a lot of grocery stores and convenience stores, a very common package that everyone's used to, and we are creating dynamic pack patterns. So if you go through the convenience store, you'll notice that sometimes they're in 10 count packs, sometimes they're in 20 count packs, 30 count packs, lots of different variations depending on what type of party you're going to have, right? With this system, we have one revolution of the timing screw that creates one container discharged out. This allows a lot of flexibility to create whatever pack pattern the customer requires for downstream equipment. Once we create and count how many containers are actually discharged out, we have a takeaway arm that will pull away the appropriate count and feed it to the downstream equipment. This adds a lot of flexibility to an ever-changing marketplace. So that video played pretty fast, and so just to highlight what the system was, it is Morrison's patent-pending stacking system. So how it works is, I'll try to visualize a little bit since it's kind of hard to see with the clear cups. So they come in back to back, pretend product's going this way. We use the timing screws to turn the product like so, and then we have the timing screws control the lip of the container, and that's how we will combine them and bring them all to a stack. Once they're in a stack, because it's one revolution of a timing screw equals one container discharged out, we're able to count how many containers go through, very similar to the process that we showed earlier with the K-cups or with the single serve coffee cups. And then we have the system that will pull it away once you create the proper pack pattern. So again, this could be a count of 5, count of 10, count of 30, whatever it may be for said operation. We'll keep moving down the line for other videos. We've got another video here that creates the logs or the stacks of chewing tobacco cans. So if you chew tobacco, you know what we're talking about. If not, I'm sure you've seen it in the gas station, but this is how you make them in a stack. In case anybody was wondering how a log of tobacco cans was created, this video helps highlight that. We receive the product in 4 or 5 lanes depending on what stack pattern we're creating. In this scenario, we have a stack of 5. Each one of those lanes is controlled by an individual timing screw so that we can put them on the same pitch and the same location. And once they are on that pitch, we transition them off to a lug conveyor or a platform that will allow an undersling for the sleeving operation, so that when a sleever puts the shrink sleeve on it, it can go underneath the container, so that will allow it to be intact once it's actually shrunk. The last star wheel that you see on the system helps center the containers so that they are perfectly square or perfectly vertical just prior to that sleeving operation. So hopefully that helped spark some ideas. Again, don't pigeonhole yourself into the specific product. Any sort of canned product, or really any product that's stacked on top of each other, is something that Morrison can help out with. So hopefully you've got a project that you can reach out to us at. Remember to chat us through the chat window, or stay after. We're going to be on the Teams call. And also you can check out our website to reach out to a regional sales manager if that works for you as well. The last video for this demo that we're going to highlight is actually in a completely different industry than any of the ones that we've looked at thus far, more in the agricultural industry. So I'm sure at some point each one of you have planted some flowers at your house or gotten something for your indoor planting. And they've always got a little label that highlights the specific product that we're talking about. So it's kind of unique to think about this is how it's actually put on. The benefit of timing screws is that they really work in any type of environment where there's a rigid or semi-rigid container. One industry that many people don't think about with timing screws would be the agricultural industry. In this scenario, what we're doing is we're taking flower pots and we are denesting them to allow a label to be applied to the side so that you know what type of flower you're purchasing, or the barcode scanner. So we pull them apart to allow that label to be applied on the side, and then at the same time we are counting them at the discharge end because we re-nest them together. 1 revolution of the timing screw equals 1 container discharged out, so we can count exactly how many containers go through so that the consumer is able to have the perfect amount of containers in each stack that will eventually be bagged and shipped to their customer. So as you can see, we showed a lot of different interesting videos that highlight the different types of stacking and variety pack systems that we've done. We've got lots more, so reach out to us and we can point you in a direction that might be more specific to what your individual application is for. May that be for beer bottles that need to be grouped and do a variety pack, or soda cans, or yogurts, or Jell-O. A wide range that we've been involved with in the past. We just picked a few that we thought might spark some interest and ideas for people during this chat session. So we'll stay on the Teams meeting for a little while longer. Please reach out to us. We can set up one-on-one meetings. Otherwise, check us out at our other live demos that are going to be airing the rest of the week. Please go to our virtual booth and sign up and reach out to your sales rep today. But again, thank you for visiting. We hope to connect with you soon.